the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay.
What's going down, gamblers around the world? It's the coach representing Brothas N Bets, and it might just be one of those shows, just the way that it kind of started before the people could see it. You feel me? But anywho, I am the coach, and I'm here representing Brothas N Bets. We back in effect, and I'm joined by three of my brothers. But let's go to the man, the myth, the legend first. Flat Top, what's going down? How you feeling? You in this thing? Flat Top, what it is?
Flat Top, you muted? You froze? Flat Top.
And he ain't playing that. He had his Twitter up, though. Shout out to Flat Top, had his Twitter up.
Hey. All right. That's crazy. Yo, hey, Marley.
That's what you get for doing that shit. That's what you get for doing that shit. That's what you get for introducing them that way.
What's going down, Marley? Marley, what's the word, my G?
I'm tired, boss. I'm tired.
You tired?
Got a football practice. My kids. Tired.
Pull your mic. Oh, yeah.
My bad. See, shit ain't even all the way together. Tired, man. I'm tired, dog. But this is my favorite part of the day. College football is my favorite show out of the shows that we do, so I'm always up for it. So, I'm here, man. Let's get into it.
All right. And we also got
Young SBO. What's good?
Flat Top, you missed out on the entrance. You ain't hear what it was?
I know, because I couldn't hear. I couldn't. You guys were laughing and joking. I'm trying to read the facial. So my sound cut out. I don't know why it's done it the past 2 weeks, but yeah, that transition's fucked. So yeah,
you all right though? You all right though? And we joined.
Yeah, I'm good. It was just I was trying to read lips and time up the laughs and shit, but it was not working. So had to exit and come back in.
I got you. Well, you joined by another brother from the West Coast, so it's 2 on 2 for today, and we talking about Mr. Who Banging Sports Entertainment, Mr. DJ Big Boss, joining us once again. Big Boss, what's the word?
What up, thou is always the word, coach. But I want to holler out to our people in the chat, man. They ain't here early, man. Hey, can I get a year out the chat, man? Let me type something. Let us know you woke, live, and living, because we ready to do it, man. It's only week 1 officially of college football, and we turned up.
Let's get it.
Man, that boy, Flat Top. You missed your grand entrance, G. I gotta have you on point. When I was got to do my boy Marley like that, but it's all good. It's all good. Hey, let's kind of talk about how we did though over the weekend.
Let's not.
I know I went 3-2. I got over the 500 mark. Played with some games that I shouldn't have played with. Disappointed in some teams that should have made my record better. I.e. Utah State giving up 14 points in the first quarter, but then coming in the second quarter, scoring 24 points. Come on, man. You made me miss it by what, 6 points? I think I missed the first half bit. But anywho, my lock of the day hit. Shout out to Willie Taggart and Florida Atlantic. Took care of business early to make my record 3-2. And shout out to Vanderbilt for taking care of business. I can't believe Boys was actually in this chat talking about Hawaii. Hawaii. It was a lot of people talking about Hawaii, and I'm just like, come on, man. But Marley went 3-3, including his Twitter special. He snuck one in on us real quick. So be sure to get the @ I'll even get an @ real quick so you can catch us all on Twitter for live action. And then we got Big Boss, Flat Top. Flat Top went 2-4. Had a rough weekend, but he is ready to bounce back, peoples. He's ready to make his flat even topper and make some points. Big Boss, how'd you do though? You wasn't on the show, but how'd you do? Because
Man, I'm gonna just go off my Twitter plays, but I only made 3 for the day, and I went 1 and 2. But on my picks on a lot of the shows, if you tapped in, I did call the Northwestern on the side, even called it on the money line on a couple shows. And if you look on my Twitter, you can see those as well. And I also called Hawaii for the late night special, the over in that one, which came through as well. But for Twitter purposes, because you Twitter cats be tripping, I was just 1 and 2, y'all. I was just 1 and 2.
Twitter be tripping.
Twitter be tripping. All in your DM, they be tripping, man. But
them Twitter battles can get crazy sometimes, like you're over something.
I only get them for the first few weeks of the season. Probably by the 6th week, I'm gonna fall off of the Twitter shit because everything is gonna be going crazy and all that good stuff. So I'll be like, man, the hell with Twitter, man. Catch me on the show, and if you could DM me, call me, whatever you want. If you want to pick or whatever, I'll tell you what I think. But at the same time, I'm not about to be chasing Twitter and all they got to get and reposting and all the proper etiquettes of Twitter, which a lot of our fellas, they do it, which is no big deal. I love it. You know what I'm saying? But for me, sometimes it throws me off.
Hey, I post my shit on Twitter. You take it. Shit, that's it. It is what it is. Shit. I don't make you press the button. You follow. Just know if I post it, I'm on it too. That's how I look at it.
Well, we got a way better slate of games to watch this weekend on TV for Labor Day weekend. We got some primetime games on Sunday and Monday that we are going to cover here today. But first, let's start off with our Thursday night kickoff Big Ten matchup. We're talking about Penn State Nittany Lions with my boy James Franklin over there taking on the Purdue Boilermakers. And you all know these primetime games up in Purdue can be instant upsets a lot of times. But let's get right into it. This line opened up at -3.5 in favor of the Nittany Lions, and that line hasn't moved at all. But the total opened up at 58, and right now it's a lot of money coming in, or either odds makers like recognize they made a mistake. It's at 52.5 right now. Just kind of get to some of these trends for Penn State, and this is kind of all based on last year. We know there's they lost some players, some key players at that, and added some, but we're still going to get to the actual factuals. The unders hit 6 out of the last 7 games for Penn State. They're 2-6 straight up in the last 8 games, 10-4-1 against the spread in the last 15 games against Purdue, 9-0 straight up in the last 9 games against Purdue as well. And they're 6-1 straight up in the last 7 games on the road against Purdue. They're also 2-4 against the spread in the last 6 games against an opponent from the West Division. And they're 7-0 in the last 7 games played in the month of September. So this is typically their month when they get their little undefeated streak, and then everything comes crashing. Purdue. Their actual factuals, they're 5-1 against spread in the last 6 games. They're 5-1 straight up in the last 6 games as well. The unders hit 9 of the last 12 games when playing against Penn State, and they're 3-6 against spread in the last 9 games when they were playing at the crib last year. And 1-6, like I said before, in the last 7 games when going up against Penn State. Now, the big injury news right now is for Penn State is Zahara Fisher. He is the linebacker. He is out indefinitely. And there's quite a few guys that are questionable and out for the season for Purdue, like tight end Garrett Miller, defensive lineman Lewis, both out for the season. Jalen Graham is questionable with a hamstring injury this weekend. Corey Trice, he's questionable as well with a knee injury. And defensive lineman Branson Dean is questionable as well. So let's kind of go up there. I'm going to allow our guest to take this one on. Mr. DJ Big Boss, if you want to start this one off, what are your thoughts on Penn State or Purdue if you cap this? And if you
I got you. You know, I talk back. You know what I'm talking about. Let's go. So James Franklin, 9th year versus Jeff Brom, 6 years. So two well-seasoned coaches going at it right here. Bad size of Penn State. Okay, they struggled rushing in 2021, 107 yards per game, 25 points per game. O-line still needs attention. Wide receivers running at basically about a few good men. But on the upper side of things, they do return quarterback super senior Sean Clifford, along with their number 5 and number 4 star recruits, Singleton and Creighton at the running back spot. So they do show some hope on offense, which is excellent. And on the defensive side of things, they do get Manny Diaz from Miami. That's a whole nother show on how you feel about Manny Diaz. And I guess that's really how you're gonna look at this game, depending on what do you think the effects of Manny Diaz is going to be on the defense of Penn State, who let a few games slip away from him last year. But on the bad side of the defense, linebacker, only one returner. They definitely still need some attention in that area. And then at defensive back, they still need some help back there as well. On the whatever note, defensive lineman return a couple from injury, game 5, and also a new recruit, Dana Sutton. He's a big guy right there, 5-star recruit. And then on the Purdue side of things, I see a little brighter for them. On the upper side of things, they return quarterback Aiden O'Connell. The offensive line is returning 3, look very impressive in the spring game. The wide receivers look great, plenty of talent, especially stacked at tight end. And the only mediocre thing over there is the running back. It's pretty good. Couple returners, some transfers, so they'll go by committee from the running back standpoint. And on the defensive side of thing, they're returning 9, and all units except the linebackers return seniors and look solid. They have co-defensive coordinators this year, Ron English and Mark Hagan, and last year's defense, 22 points a game, 157 rushing, 208 passing. That should stay the same. Maybe they'll slice it down a little bit on allowing the run a little bit. But I expect Purdue in this spot to get a little better. I lean hard on Purdue plus the 3 points. I like it from that perspective. I'm going to really have to just start taking side and totals in these games because at the end of the day, I think it's going to pay out better for me. But being chicken shit that I am, and I try to dibby dab around stuff, I like the over as a solid pick, being that they got the 2 returning quarterbacks and they should be able to put some points on the board.
All right. So state that official play once again for me. What's it ready then? You had an official play, boss?
Oh, I don't got no play on this one, but I lean heavy on Purdue plus the 3, and I like the over better at the 2, but I probably won't make it to the window on this one.
I got you. Marley, Mr. Marley Bets, what's the play if you got one on this?
I'm gonna make it to the goddamn window. And pretty much
let's go.
Big Boss lined it all up for you. I mean, I don't think I can add to too much what he had to say. I think he just it's other games out there, so I understand that why he probably didn't make it all the way to the window. It's definitely better options, but I think Purdue is the better team here. They got 9 returning. I know you listed some of the injuries, including Branson Dean, defensive tackle. I think you said Corey Trice as well, the cornerback. But they still got 9 returners coming back on defense, 6 on offense, and like Big Boss said, including Aiden O'Connell at the quarterback position. My problem with Penn State is, just like last year, and Big Boss touched on this too, they couldn't run the fucking ball, bro. They couldn't run that motherfucker at all. And they had apparently the backs in the backfield to do it. So I don't know if it was the offensive line or what was the issue, but I don't know. I don't think they get too much better at doing that. And then now they do got 12 returners coming back, 6 and 6 on offense, but they got to replace pretty much. They get their receivers back, but like I said, the backfield is not coming back. They pretty much lose the entire offensive line except the center and the right tackle. And I like James Franklin, but I'm not really like high on James Franklin. Like, I think he's a decent to good kind of coach, but I don't think he's a great coach. I don't think he's gonna like out coach a lot of people, out scheme a lot of teams. I do think he's like a tough-minded coach, so Penn State would be tough. But at the crib, if this game was probably in Penn State, I might feel like Penn State can eke out a win. But if you're giving me 3.5 at Purdue with an offense that ranked 5th in scoring last year with 29.1 points a game, they didn't really run the ball that good, but the air attack was there. They do got to replace 2 receivers, but you get your left side of your offensive line back. Like I said, you get your quarterback back. And I know you said the tight end. Well, did you say he was out or did you just say he was hurt? Durham. Coach.
My bad. Who we talking about?
The tight end, Payne Durham. Is he out for this game? I know you said he was nicked up, but I can't remember.
No. Garrett Miller was the tight end that I was referring to.
Okay, so you still bringing back Peyton Durham, top dog tight ends in big catches and TDs. And then, like I said, Aiden O'Connell, 3,700 yards last year, 28 touchdowns, second team All Big Ten. I like Purdue plus the points. You can make that official play. I'm going to get to the window. I actually think they can win outright. That might be a personal play. I sprinkle a little something on the money line on, but for show purposes, just give me the 3.5. I'm going to play it safe. I think they actually can win outright personally.
Flat Top, do you have a play for this one?
Biggest takeaway that I am taking this week, as from last week, is know which games to stay off of. I took a lot of plays last week that I didn't think. And Marley mentioned there's better games this week. This one, I mean, if I was gonna lean, I like what Marley said with the Purdue at home. The 3.5, just the way the Penn State said. As far as official play, I'm not touching this one. I'm looking at the other games on the slate to put some money on. So no official play here. We got to get above 500.
We got to get above 500. So Flat Top is betting scary. All right.
Razor. Hey, Razor, you admit me lying, huh? What you got, Razor? I got Purdue. I'm fading your boys, dog.
Well, y'all pretty much, I don't have to really, comment and throw out different little statistics and all that stuff like that, because y'all pretty much said everything. And just like last week, I had a lean and I told that everybody was kind of looking at me crazy. I said, hey, man, I like the Wildcats with that lean. Not the full game, even though I didn't bet that way. I like the Boilermakers here, to be honest with you, and I like a money line. And like I said, you go to Purdue at night, primetime game, your ass might get popped. And I think James Franklin might be just a little too emotional, and Brom is going to pop. I like Brom. I like Brom since he was at Western Kentucky. Like, my guy could coach, and I'm going to ride with those 9 guys on the defense side of the ball that are returning. And you got the same quarterback coming back. Dude, give me Brom. I like Purdue in this spot. I like a money line. I know everybody going to look at me crazy, but we're going to see the games in 2 days. Give me Purdue. Give me Purdue with that money line. Oh, this like I just think here's another thing that's going on in Penn State, but I think I might have talked about this earlier. It's a lot of stuff going on that campus right now, fellas. All right, they're trying to unionize. You got the old quarterback from last year. I forgot his name. He like a 7th-year starter there. Like, it's a lot of stuff going on the campus.
Quarterback for Penn State?
Yeah. Like they're trying to get Penn State trying to get that money from the players, and the player union going on campus, in the facilities and stuff like that. It's been a big distraction on the campus as well. If you're a Penn State fan, you should know what I'm talking about. If not, then I don't know what to tell you. But I do like Penn State right here. I mean, Purdue for the game one. If there's any time to pop them, give me game one. I'm all over Purdue right here, though. So, hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in. I am the coach. That is Marley Bets. And we in this thing. And let's get on to our next game. And let's kind of jump right into what a lot of people are saying is the game of the week. And we're talking about them defending champs. All right, my boy. My boy Stetson got the fade with the Clippers on and the design on the side. We talk about the Georgia Bulldogs taking on the Oregon Ducks in the Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta, where a lot of rappers are getting popped right now because of their lyrics. You boys better wake up. Your boys better just wake up a little bit. Oh, the line opened up in 16.5 during the summer, and money has been coming on Georgia. There is some 17s on the board, and there's 17, but as a consensus, the spread is minus 17.5. The total opened up at 52.5, and right now it's at 53. 53.5 is a consensus, excuse me. And if I need to correct that number there, we need to go ahead and do that. We'll get that corrected here. But let me keep going with these actual factions while my boy Marley takes care of me real quick. Get back to my notes. Somebody breathing hard than a bitch. It's Oregon.
Me.
It's hot already on the West Coast. Oregon 6-13 against the spread in the last 19 games. 10-4 straight up in the last 14 games. 8-0 in the last 8 games straight up in the month of September. 8-1 straight up in the last 9 games when played on week 1. But, a lot of these statistics don't really mean nothing besides that last one because the coach is gone. Cristobal. Let's keep it going. Actual factions for the defending national champs. 12-6 against the spread in the last 18 games. The under's gone under 8 out of the last 11 games. 18-1 straight up in the last 19 games. 10-0 straight up in the last 10 games played in the month of September. 7-0 straight up in the last 7 games when played in week 1. The unders also hit 7 out of the last 10 games whenever Georgia's playing as a favorite. So there aren't any injury reports right now out for Oregon. As far as Georgia, we got Karis Jackson, wide receiver. He's questionable. Kendall Milton, running back. He's questionable as well. Arian Smith, wide receiver. He's out indefinitely with an ankle injury. And Andrew Paul, running back's out for the season right now. So that being said, I'm gonna take it to the SEC king right now, Mr. SEC himself. All of a sudden, because he wasn't this SEC last year, but he just, not that I remember. But anywho, Marley Bets, what's the play? Because at last year at one point you took Arkansas to beat Georgia, but we gonna keep it going. Georgia versus
Arkansas
Oregon.
to cover against Georgia,
and that didn't even happen.
I didn't take them to beat Georgia.
Okay, you're right, but that didn't happen.
It didn't.
But go ahead, man. My bad.
That's SEC on SEC crime, so that's okay. You know what I'm saying? It was like I took, them against, I took
Vanderbilt. Against Hawaii.
We saw what happened to Vanderbilt against Hawaii. I stayed off that game, but we saw what happened. All right, so we're really talking about 17.5 because personally, I don't think, I won't even say personally. Obviously, I don't think Oregon is going to win the game. I'm not a fan of Bo Nix. I'll just be honest with you. When he was at Auburn, I wasn't a fan of Bo Nix. I feel like he's a fucking accident waiting to happen. Georgia got a new coach. Me and Big Boss covered this up. If y'all want to see my opinion on Dan Larry, y'all check out Who Banging. Go find the coaching breakdowns and coaching changes video that me and Big Boss did. Y'all can get my opinions on Dan Larry, because I'm not finna discuss it right now. I'm really just figuring the fact. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do not ever back Bo Nix in the game, bro. I just don't. And that boy Graylo love this nigga Bo Nix, and I don't know why. I just feel like he's a turnover waiting to happen. So I just personally cannot bet on this guy. I'm a fan of Stetson Bennett as far as a college quarterback. I don't know what he gonna do in the NFL, but he goes the way he stepped in and led Georgia. Now we do know they got to replace their running backs, but let's be honest, this is running back you, so we know somebody is going to step up. Right now it's Kenny McIntosh. You still got 2 wide receivers coming back. You got Brock Bowers, the tight end, 56 catches, 882 yards last year, 13 receiving touchdowns. Now, you do have to replace a lot on defense. You only got 3 coming back. But One of those is Jalen Carter. You know what I'm saying? 37 tackles last year, 8.5 sacks for a loss, 3 sacks as a sophomore. So we know the guys. You're right. It won't be as good as it was last year, but last year was like some historic ass shit. So they had 5, 6 fucking first round draft picks go. I don't know personally. I don't think they covered the 17. I don't. With all that said, I'm not even making a play on this game. This is going to be a watch for me because I do need to see how good that defense is going to be. 17 is a fucking lot of points. I do think Georgia wins this game just because they're too big, too physical for Oregon. And I feel like Bo Nix, even though he's been up against this Georgia team, he shouldn't be scared, but he's just not a good quarterback in my eyes. I am going to look at first half Georgia, probably be about 10. That'll be a lean, but I don't have an official play. I'm honestly not betting on this game, to be fair to everyone. I didn't hear what you said because you was muted.
Tripping. Flat Top, do you have a play for this game? I'm sorry.
I do. So I like everything, Marley went into with that. So Georgia, it's not going to be the same defense as last year, but that was historic level. They're only having 3 come back, but I still think, with what they have on offense, you got your tight end coming back, the receivers, and Stetson coming back. I think they're still going to be they're ranked number 3. Good Georgia team. But they're going to have a little bit of a test with this Oregon team that's bringing back, they have all 5 of their offensive linemen coming back for Oregon. They have, I think, 4, can't remember exactly how many they had coming back on defense. They lost Thibodeau, but Noah Sewell, Brandon Dorla, up front. And then there was a Colorado transfer that came in to kind of help out the secondary. So I'm surprised Mr. SEC didn't jump on it. I think Georgia, I don't know if they covered the 17.5, but I think first half, whatever they're looking at, maybe that 9.5, 10. I like Georgia to come out and set a statement. So my official play is going to be Georgia first half, whatever that spread is going to be.
Hold on, give me a sec. Before you get to throwing out officials, hold on, let me see.
Go ahead, I'm pulling it up. You can keep it going. I'm pulling it up.
Yeah, it's probably like 9.5, maybe.
They probably not gonna have it this early.
Yeah.
Well, if you go to hold on, I'm on my spot right now. They should have it on Vegas. If you go to Vegas Insider, they should have it. Some books should have it.
Give me another 10. I might take it if I can get another 10.
Big Boss, what you got?
I got to get back focused because Razor over there pulling my hairs, talk about my squad.
Yeah.
But it's all good, though. We'll talk about that later in the show. But on this, if Marley ain't going to take SEC, I'm going to take him. Nah, just kidding. No, I don't know. Oregon got a lot to prove, but, I wasn't a fan of Cristobal. I took a lot of flack for that, too. In the show that we was talking about Cristobal, man, they lit the comments up about that. But I still don't care. I'm not a fan of Cristobal.
I'm not either.
He's a slickster. He left them high and dry over there. It's a lot for to step in there and take care of. So I'm not going. That's one of them show and tell teams. But Georgia, on the other hand, we talked about this on the show before in the previews that Kirby Smart's got a lot to prove right here. Is he the real deal? Because he was hit on defense pretty heavy by players moving on. You know what I'm saying? If he's the real deal, then for sure. He got some stars in the horizon that's coming, this year to pick up the pieces. But if he's not, if he's just for show and, mission accomplished, I'm going to fold my shit up and get up out of here, then we won't see such a dominant team. But And you can't. I'm not a Stetson Bennett fan either, so neither Bo Nix nor Stetson Bennett move me in any type of way. So I'm not sure about them two. I'm off this one, but if I had to take a play, and I'm gonna take Georgia minus the 17.5 for the simple fact that they can run the ball. They will have a great offensive line. They heavy in the trenches, and the trenches, that third and fourth quarter, when these cats around here cramping and all that good stuff, that 300-pounder pushing on you the whole time, oh, you're gonna break. You know what I'm saying? But the hook on the 17 is a bit much, bookies. That's a bit much.
Yeah, it's just a little too
give
much.
Give us some love. I know you're not gonna give us 16, but at least give us a 17 or something, man. But no, I'm not gonna take a running team like Georgia, playing a team like Oregon with so many variables and having to get up in points based on mostly the running game. So it's a pass for me.
I agree.
First half is at 9.5.
Ooh, I like
it. Official 9.5.
Now everybody in, huh?
I like that 9.5. I can see them double digits at
touchdown and a field goal.
Yeah, I can see that.
Hey, you know that means you really like the 17.5 too, though, right?
Double up.
The horns,
Double up,
baby.
9.5 and the 17.5.
I like the horns, Razor. You see the horns, baby? I like the horns.
Is that the Nipsey?
Huh?
Yeah, that's not the Nipsey.
Nah, it's the age.
Oh, come on, Razor. The fuck?
Nah, he want to see it, is what he's saying. Anywho, say, man, Oregon might be lucky if they get 10 points. I'm gonna be real with you. They can run. Georgia can run this up, man, and it can go off of a special teams. It can go off of 2 picks, a scoop and score. The score can get up there. It could get pretty nasty. I can see this being 2018. I can see this 28-10 easy, maybe even 28-7. Oregon with a new quarterback, O-line there, yeah, that's good and all. But a lot of guys transferred out of that school. Bo Nix is cool. Yeah, Otis. I can see this. I can see that easily 34-7. Get a nice, good return game and a couple of special team possessions, good field position with the defense. And the defense is good for 2 turnovers. With Bo Nix, now we're talking maybe 3.5. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, if I were to make a lean on this one, I definitely would go with Georgia. I'm not going to do first halves because I can't do first halves this early in the season. I messed up doing. I know, but last week I suffered for it. You know what I'm saying? Well, I hit one and I lost one. That Utah State one pissed me off. So, but I can see them covering this game, full game, and we all turning the TV and whatever channel it's on, looking at the score like, damn, they running through these boys in the fourth quarter, and just seeing them just lean. I would take Georgia with the points if I had a lean, but I'm not making a play on this one. I'll do some live betting quarter by quarter.
I like that first half, but I just don't know yet. Like, I agree with you. It's too early to be making first half plays.
Well, Flat Top says he likes UGA first half minus the 9. So we're gonna see Flat Top. We're gonna root for you. I think
big boy
Oregon might get 3 points. It might be 14-3.
That's what happens when you take a Pac-12 team and you put them up against some big boys.
I can see that. I can see that, Flat Top. But let's get on to our next big matchup. We got another Pac-12 going up against the SEC team. The only difference in this one is it's not a neutral site game. Utah, the Utes
Pac-12 team is real.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get into it. Utah Utes traveling into the Gators, into the swamp. Prime time at that in the swamp. 7:00 Eastern Standard Time. The line opened up at -1.5. The line now, and I forgot to put these total lines. The total right now is at 51.5. It opened up at 53 in the line right now. There are some threes out there on the board as well. So a little bit more money is starting to come in on Utah. A lot of people like the Utes, and a lot of people like what they're bringing back at this moment, and I'm pretty sure you guys are going to cover it. Let's get to these actuals real quick for Utah. They're 5-2 against spread in the last 7 games. The overs hit 12 on the last 17, 6-1 straight up in the last 7 games last season. They're 1-10 against spread in the last 11 games played on the September, but 13-0 straight up in the last 13 games when playing on week 1, but just 2-10 straight up in the last 12 games when they've been playing as an underdog. The Florida Seminoles, the Gators are 0-7 against spread in the last 7 games. The unders also hit 7 out of the last 10 games. 2-5 straight up in the last 7 games. 16-2 straight up in the last 18 games at the crib. 11-1 straight up in the last 12 games in the month of September. 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games played on a week 1. And the under has also hit 10 out of the last 15 games whenever the Gators are playing as a favorite. So there are any injury reports right now for Utah. Florida, Ricky Parcell, wide receiver, he's probable for this game. And Jack Miller, quarterback, he's out indefinitely, but he's not even the guy. The guy is nice and fully healthy, ready to go for this game, and we're talking about Richardson. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pass this over to DJ from the West Coast. DJ, we got a West Coast team traveling over to Marley's conference, the SEC. Mm-hmm. What's the play?
Hey, check this out. Go on and write this down, Coach. Go and get ready to write this down. Because we fading the SEC and we taking Utah in this spot right here. Now, I went into this game. We did the whole thing on Bill Napier. I love Bill Napier. I love the look. I love everything. But I'm going to just give you a small piece about why I like Utah in this one. One of the main pieces from capping the game down was a lot of these players remained another year and declined the NFL. To hang around Kyle Willingham again, it must be something. Returning 8 on offense, 8 on defense, returning a stud quarterback in Cameron Rising. They just look very, very good. And it's also one of those things is you can fight the books all you want, and the number is at 3 just so they can get people to jump on each side. But the number probably should be a little higher because we don't know if Florida is really ready yet. It looked good for it looks very, very good for my guy. Damn, I can't think of his name. Napier. It looks very, very good for Napier over there. You know, he got 6 returning on offense, 8 returning on defense. He got the QB Anthony Richardson, 6'7", 237. But you know, they got some guys over there too, like great athletes and everything. You know, it looks nice for them too. But first game out, first year, it's counting against you. You're going against a seasoned vet. Utah's creeping up on the opportunity to try to get in the playoffs out of the Pac-12, preserve what little left of the Pac-12 it's going to be after USC and UCLA go, and maybe put in a bid for maybe where they want to go after that. You know, they could end up in the SEC, believe it or not, nowadays. So I'm going Utah on that one, and I also like the under in that one as well. But make it official for the show. Give me Utah minus the 3.
Utah minus the 3. All right, flat top. What you got?
So I agree with what Big Boss is saying there. For me, I am gonna take a different approach. I'm gonna take the over the 53.5. This Utah team, they're bringing back their quarterback. Rising. They were scoring 37 points a game in the Pac-12 last year. That's against Pac-12 competition. But I think Napier, I love the hire. I love what he did with ULL. Getting Richardson and that Florida offense, I think with Devin Lloyd departing and Utah, I think they're bringing back 5 of their defensive starters, only 1 in the secondary. I believe. I could be wrong on that. I think there's going to be an opportunity for some points to be scored, and I think we're going to have a pretty good scoring game. I'm not so sure about the line. It's early in the season, so there's, this is going to be kind of see how good Florida is with everything that they've had. And for me, I just think over is going to be the move for this one. So official play is going to be over that 53.5. I think that Utah is usually pretty stingy, and I think Florida only gave up like 19 a game last year, and they come back with the 8 starters on defense. But I just think this is going to be an offensive game as opposed to a defensive one. So that's flat top play.
Marley, what you got?
Hey,
What's
up,
man?
O?
What you got?
Hitting the nail right on the head. If anybody is paying attention to what O is saying,
sure he did.
O is hitting the nail on the head. Now look, I'm really, really, really high on Utah. As y'all know, when we broke down our Pac-12 conference, I'm pretty sure I picked Utah to win the conference. I do believe that Rising is a dark horse candidate for the Heisman. But back to what O was saying. You got these California kids, that's used to that. Hey, Big Boss.
You hear him,
Big Boss.
Big Boss.
What's the weather out there? What's the temperature for tomorrow?
You hear him, Big Boss?
You muted. What's the
temperature? We on the heat wave for the next 3 days and a little bit into the weekend. It was like what? Well, I'm in Long Beach, so it's always a little down over here, but it was like 92 right here where I was at. But,
so 92. That's a heat wave. 92 is a heat wave.
Yeah, we getting a lot of humidity out here, way more than we used to. So 92 here is worse than Vegas 104, no doubt.
Okay, I hear you. So like, you heard what he said, people? He said they getting a little humidity now, right? That's California, so we still got to get to Utah up in the mountains. These kids are in Florida. Like 92 is regular. You know what I'm saying? That's normal. That's not, you know what I'm saying? That humidity gonna have them boys feeling like 115, 120, one muggy, sweaty, hard to breathe. Like if you got asthma, you might not make it because you're not used to that shit. So that's gonna be hard on those kids, man. And with Florida returning 8 on defense and up front, that's the difference. When I say big boy football, like that's what I really be talking about, like those trenches in the SEC, like the Bamas, the Georgias. Florida not quite there yet. That's the only thing that concerns me about this game is just because it's Bill Napier's very first fucking year. That's the only issue. I don't know how much they got it put together. I don't know how much of a command that Anthony Richardson has on the offense. I'm with Flat Top, though. I'm all over the over because I feel like Utah's offense will produce. They got too much coming back. They got the quarterback coming back. They will score some points. What Bill Napier is doing, and I told this on Big Boss of Shot, I believe he was the best hire of the college football offseason. I really do believe in this coach. So I don't know if it'll be this year, but he'll get shit turned around. I'm on Florida plus the 3, but my official play for the show purposes, I'm on the over 53.5. I think come on, SBO. I'm on Florida plus 3.5, plus the 3. But I think the better play is the over 53.5 because I think Utah's offense will score. And I think Florida is going to have to score in order to keep up. So I'm on Florida money line. I ain't that brave yet, SBO, because I don't know. It's game 1. I don't know how much Bill Napier got it yet. I haven't seen those. And, it's not like NFL where we get some preseason games to watch. I don't know how fast these kids learn this offense and if they got it in and can produce it. If they can score with them, then they will lose because Florida's defense will get more stops than Utah's will. But if Utah goes up like twice and they can't, I don't think they can really like play them from behind. They kind of got to go blow for blow with them because I really believe in Utah. But officially put me on the over.
Well, I'm sorry. I guess this is how I'm feeling this weekend. I'm on a underdog weekend. I'm fucking money lining that Florida. You goddamn right I am. You going into the swamp. You in Utah with mountains. You coming into the swamp. If you're familiar with Napier, you know this offense, one, ain't that technical. Two, falls right into what Anthony Richardson does. And that's getting outside of the pocket, play action it, read optioning it, RPO. They don't do it that much, but this is a heaven sent for the sky for not only for the University of Florida getting Napier, but Napier getting the quarterback like Anthony Robinson. Then we're talking about 8 returners coming in on defense, and they're all in the defensive backfield. So you're not going to be able to throw the ball on top of the crowd. I mean, let's really think about it. Name me a stadium, and I'm talking to you West Coasters. Name me a stadium in the Pac or on the West Coast that is as equally amount to Florida's in prime time. Name me a hostile environment like
the Coliseum?
that. USC?
Can I answer?
Go ahead. I want a big boss thing. I really want a big boss thing.
Why does it matter? Why does it matter? Where are you playing in the swamp? The humidity, first of all, is week number 1. So these guys are not getting out there on Thursday or nothing like that. These dudes going to be there from Tuesday to Sunday. They're going to adapt. I go to the South. I've been to Miami.
I'm talking about the environment. Not
the environment.
The weather going to play.
It's college football.
Yeah, but not the swamp. Name you somewhere on the west.
If you go up to USC, you're gonna get spit on. You're gonna get all type of disrespect.
SC ain't been popping. I'm talking about what these kids been at. The SEC, the USC ain't been popping last 2 years for that stadium to be jumping like that.
That's coming to play football. They're not worried about all that. I'm just saying this: if you're basing your bet more than 20% on them playing in that stadium, you on the wrong side, because that is not going to be as detriment. Even if it is, even in the pouring down snow,
Let me ask you this: mine is stadium. For real. This is a question me and Moneyline always pose. This is a question me and Moneyline always pose to each other. Boys that fuck with us know who Moneyline is. If you're a 5-star recruit.
I started that. You got to stop giving money.
My bad.
I started that. Go ahead.
If you're a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, and we're going to say where you come from is neutral, so you're not basing this decision off location. Are you going to Utah or are you going to Florida?
Obviously, you're gonna go to Florida, but what does that mean though?
All right, caliber athletes. That means what I'm saying from based off that question is that I believe talent-wise, Florida top to bottom is the more talented team.
I think at a college level that all that talent and all that leveling up of people, some players are stud. That's in any level of ball you play. You could be playing peewee. It's just studs on the field at certain levels of the game. Right. But just because you was a 5-star recruit doesn't mean you're gonna be a All-American player at college. That don't happen a lot. That's why they honor those kids that achieve those goals, even as 5-star recruits, because it doesn't happen a lot. So you can't.
Now I will say this though. Utah is playing with something to prove, not only from the rankings, but they've proven it. They're doing it for the 2 fallen players. I mean, they heavy on that shit right now. You know, this season is all dedicated to them. The one cat, the running back from up there from Dallas, and then Lowe. They lost both of them in the offseason. They playing for them. That's the only thing that scares me. But come on, man. I'm putting together this style of offense ain't that hard to get done in the amount of time that they had. They had a spring ball. He has a quarterback that falls probably right into what he likes to do. Napier's offense ain't that complex for them to get it clicking and just play some defense and be in that environment. The first game, the crowd juiced up. The crowd matters. Now we're talking about a combination of the crowd and the weather being playing in there the first time. It's different than traveling. Like I said, playing in that shit, running around in that shit is a little different. But I'm not banking on that. It's a whole package. All right, we got 8 on defense.
I feel like if this was Napier's like third year, this would be Florida, no question.
The line would be definitely different. It'd be like 6.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree. I totally agree as well. But I don't think none of that matters. I think preparation. I think scheme.
Can I ask a question?
I think all that stuff matters right here.
Why wasn't Rising the starter in the beginning of the season last year?
Because he had to work his way up. He had a couple in there that he played bad for a while. He got better later. He turned into the star later on in the season, had to take a step down. Hey, it's just like a good relationship. Somebody got to cheat before the love come in, brother.
Well, I'm on the
All right, man. Well, that's how I played. And to be honest, I mean, man, that ain't my lock. I was very close to making Florida my lock, but it's not my lock. But I'm on the money line, Florida, man. That's my play. Hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in. We're at the almost the 55-minute mark, and we still got hella games to cover. We're about to go rapid fire pretty soon. But to keep this thing going, that's what happens when we got to talk about some of the key marquee games. So now we can start getting to some of these smaller games real quick. And let's start off with one of our local teams here, Marley. We're talking about the Houston Cougars taking on the UTSA Roadrunners. Excuse me, man. Excuse me. Let's get to these facts here. This game is going down in the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, 3:30 Eastern Standard kickoff time. This line opened up in favor of U of H minus 6.5. A lot of monies came in on UTSA. It's now sitting at 4.5. And the total right now, because we didn't do all our lines because we knew they were going to change when they first opened up, but the total right now is at 56.5. Right now that line's sitting at 62 as a consensus at most books right now. So go ahead and fix that and get it at 62 real quick. Bam. Let's get to these actual factuals real quick for the Cougars. The Cougars are 12-1 straight up in the last 13 games, 6-1 straight up in the last 7 games on the road. Again, these are last year's stats. 7-1 straight up in the last 8 games against a Conference USA opponent. The overs hit 4 out of the last 6 games played in the month of September. The overs also hit 8 out of the last 12 games when playing in week 1, and they're 2-7, 2-5 against the spread in the last 7 games when playing on a Saturday. As far as UTSA goes, they're 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games. The overs hit 6 out of the last 7. They are 12-2 straight up in the last 14 games. That was last season. 10-0 straight up in the last 10 games at the crib. 7-0 straight up in the last 7 games when playing in the month of September. 6-2 against the spread in the last 8 games in week 1. And the unders also hit 6 out of the last 7 games when playing at the crib on a Saturday. So there are no injury reports for the Cougars. D'Anthony Lewis, running back for UTSA, he is out for the season with undisclosed issues. So with that being said, I'm going to stay right here in Texas. Marley, do you have a play for this one, my G?
Excuse me. Yes, I do. And I got, I'm probably sound like a bit of a homer here, but and don't get it twisted, like Coach. Like I made a lot of money off UTSA the last 2 years, not just last year. With that UTSA is going to get too much love because of last year. They would not be as good. Oh my bad, I'm reading the comment. Yeah.
No, you good.
I don't know if they'll be as good. I still expect them to be good though. At least I keep an eye on them. They do have. At least I still expect the offense to be good. You're still bringing back Frank Harris. You're bringing back 8 on offense. All your skill guys, with the exception of your running back, which this was mainly an air attack. All your linemen, with the exception of your left tackle, and you still bringing back 5 on defense, which, the defense was really I mean, they were decent. They were third. They were ranked third in Conference USA, second against the run, but they were terrible against the pass. They were ninth against the pass, giving up 250 yards a game. But you got super senior quarterback Clayton Tune coming back for U of H. And I think personally, like I said, I'm probably gonna sound like a homer here. It's a lot of kids from Houston. It's a lot of kids. I know both of these are some Texas teams, but I'm high on U of H to win their conference. I can't remember if I picked them to win it this year or because I don't think I went with Cincinnati. I can't remember, but they're 1-2 in their conference. They went 8-0 last year, 12-2. They're still returning 6 on offense. The thing that hurt was McCaskill being injured, fucking up his knee. I think he fucked up. But you get the USC transfer. What's buddy name? Joseph Manjack from USC to replace him. So I think they'll be fine. You still bring back Keyshawn Carter, a receiver, and you got to replace the offensive line. You bring back 6 on defense. I just think U of H is really the more talented team here, top to bottom. At the end of the day, I'm on the Cougs -4. I would lean over at the score at the total because this probably could be a high scoring game. Both of these teams could easily get in the 30s, but I just think it's gonna be too much offense on U of H's side. They're not going to be able to keep up. This team averaged 35 points a game last year and over 250 yards passing. And UTSA was awful against the pass last year. So give me the Cougs. And don't underestimate the Coug defense. There was 1, 2, and 3 in every defensive statistical category last year. So I like the Cougs. Obviously, I'm from Houston, so whatever.
All right. Flat top. What's your play? Do you have a play for this one?
I do. I'm going to take the one that Marley's leading. I like the over. UTSA, I think they're turning 5, but they lost someone pretty much on every level of their defense, and they were not super good against the pass. You got that Tune throwing or slinging it for Houston. I think it is going to be a high-scoring game. I think Houston will win it, but UTSA offensively, I just don't think they'll be able to keep up. But both teams could go over 30. But my official play is going to be over that 62. I feel pretty confident on that. So official play over on this one.
Jay Money.
Lights it up.
All right. DJ, do you have a play on this one?
No, I don't have a play on this one, man. I just add the note. I like Houston way better than I like San Antonio.
Don't sleep on San Antonio, dog. But I do agree with.
I'm talking about the city.
Talking about the city.
I'm talking about the city, the
exactly
food, the women. I'm talking about all that. All that better, way better in Houston,
bro. That don't even compare, bro. If we talking about Texas, it's Dallas and Houston. That's it.
But UTSA, I hate to crush my boy Jose little thing he was on, but they were just on the lucky run, man. Almost similar last year to a Cinderella team because they could have lost quite a few of those games. They had some miraculous comebacks in a couple of them. So I don't know how long this UTSA train is going to roll, but Houston is the more solid of the two, especially like you said on defense. Houston always has some tough defense. I think Houston problem was when what's his name, Derek King, that year he came and played a couple games and then ducked out for the rest of the season, saved his eligibility because he already made a backdoor deal with Miami to go over there. Then he goes over there injury prone, weak and everything. And Houston, they had all their money set on that dude, and they stumbled a little bit for the last 2 years without him. But I hope they picked up the pieces.
Well, no, I mean, I think
they had a good season last year.
They did. I'm just saying. No, I'm talking about offensively though. I'm just talking about on the offensive side of the ball. Because the defense is tight.
They was number 3 in scoring.
It's in your backyard, of course. All right, you sound like these SC fans coming at me right now. Yeah, Ali, it's the closest team to you. Okay, you see them. Jeez, I'm telling you over here, guys. Not like they won something, but they are good. I respect them. I like them. I want them to get their quarterback thing as high at a level as it was when they had Derek King set up to play that year, and he punked out on them.
Yeah,
I think they was hurt a little bit.
I agree.
Hey, it was a lot of stuff going on there. Shout out to Derek King, the little homie.
What's up, Jay Money? What you know about football, man? When you start getting
man, my boy Jay get out, man. Jay go every sport.
Guy, dog.
He said he liked that foe.
Yeah, I see Jay Money. That's what I said. So
he said he liked that foe. That's all I know.
Yeah, ride with it, baby. Cool. That's how they throw it up. All I know is H-time. That's it. Yeah, that's all I like.
That's how they do it. All right, I'm riding with these Cougars. I might even go to this game, man. To be honest, I kind of want to go. I kind of need to go to this game. But I'm on the Cougs, man.
Those game this year, bro. We need to make that happen.
I'm on the Cougs, man. I get it. UTSA got 8 returners on offense, 5 on defense. But Tune, this is his offense, man. This is all he knows. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to go into it. Everybody I gave out the actual factuals. Marley gave out the statistics. Our boy, what's his name? The head coach. I can't think of it off the head, but from West Virginia. He now has all of his recruits now. This is all of his guys. So we're gonna see what he can do. But I'm all over U of H right here on the money, on the minus the 4. Definitely wouldn't do them on the first half bet, but yeah. That's my play. Hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in.
My bad. My mom went blank for a second.
What is it? Hogan?
Holmgren.
Yeah. I said Holmgren. I'm definitely thinking. But, man, hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm the coach, this Marley Bets. Be sure to tune in every Tuesday night for our college football games. Our college football show, and we will cut up these shows for you guys to look for them specifically. And starting next week, our live NFL shows, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on Wednesdays. That will be going down as well. Man, I knew this was going to be one of them. It's a lot of games. A lot of games.
I told you that too. Just know I told you.
It's a lot of games. But let's get to another game. Let's go to the team that was my lock of the day. And let's kind of get through this real quick. And in situations like this, man, I'll say it when we get there. Anywho, this game between Ohio Bobcats and the Florida Atlantic Isles, this game's going down in Ohio. It's not a neutral site game. The line actually opened up -1 in favor of Florida Atlantic, and right now that line is sitting at 3. I actually see it sitting at 4.5 right now. There are some 4s out there, so we're gonna update this line real quick and take what the main line is right now, and that's the 4. At -4 right now in favor of my lock of the day last week. The total actually opened up at 48.5, and right now that line as a consensus is sitting at 49.5 for the peoples. Let's get to these actual factuals real quick. Now, the only team that did play a game was Florida Atlantic, so we can include these actual factuals in last week's game into these actual factuals as well. They're 0-5 in the last. This is wrong. They're 1-5 in the last 6 games at the crib. In the last 6 games. They're 2-4 straight up in the last 5 games. 1-7, straight up in the last 8 games on the road. 6-2 straight up in the last 8 games played in the month of September. 5-2 in the last 7 games played in the month of September. They are 1-6 against spread in the last 6 games played on a Saturday. Ohio, first game of the season. The under 7 on last 9 games last year. They are 3-9 straight up in the last 12 games, 1-5 straight up in the last 6 games at the crib. The unders also hit 6 out of the last 8. They are 0-5 against the spread in the last 5 games played in the month of September, 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games played in week 1, and 1-4 straight up in the last 5 games when playing at the crib. FAU running back Johnny Ford, he is questionable for this game, and there are no injuries right now for Ohio. So with that being said, Flat Top, I'm gonna let you start this one off first. Do you have a play for this?
I do. Can we let Big Boss start or someone else start? I just want to hear some.
It's not a play for me. I pass.
Oh, pass. I can just tell my play, and then you guys can get into the specifics. So FAU actually won me a lot of money. Okay. FAU won me. I hammered FAU last week. I couldn't believe that Charlotte line -7. And Ohio wasn't very good last year. I think they were like 3-9 in the MAC, averaging like 22 points a game. I like N'Kosi Perry. I like what they were doing. I like how they took it to Charlotte. I think -4 is the steal. So I like FAU with the points in this game.
Yes, that's right. That's right. That's right. Marley, do you ever play for this game?
Yeah, that was funny. I'm riding with the homie Flat Top, dog. I like FAU. I think I know this was the Twitter play that I added. They kind of saved my ass, honestly. As far as my record goes, anyway. But I like N'Kosi Perry. I like what he did. Yes, I like the way they look. I mean, Charlotte kind of went down once Reynolds got hurt. So kind of for whatever that's worth. But even when he came back, I don't know how healthy he is when he came back. They still dominated that team top to bottom. And Ohio, I think they got like 3 returning on offense, quarterback Rourke. But like that's pretty much it, and they weren't good. They got 9 returning on defense, but the problem is they weren't very good on defense. So yeah, experience is gonna be a lot. I get it, but they gave up over 30 points a game last year, almost 200 yards rushing, over 200 yards passing last year, and the margin of win was -7. So we never take teams that give up more points than they score. That's always a no-no. It's kind of like one of my few betting rules that I kind of live by. So I'm all over FAU here. I actually might double up. You can officially put me on -4. I might take that first half simply because they actually played a game already as well. Coach, you mentioned that where this is Ohio's first game. So they already had their tune up. They coming out ready to play. So minus probably get 2.5, maybe a -3.
Yeah, it'll be 2.5.
That'd probably be a damn sure good look. But I'm all over FAU -4 for sure.
All right. Yeah, this is actually my play of the game. My lock of the weekend. Shit, I did a lock last week with FAU. I'm gonna ride it again because this Ohio team is terrible, and they're returning only 3 starters with second-year head coach. With a second-year head coach and a new defensive coordinator, because that defense was trash last year. Granted, they're bringing back 9, but Florida Atlantic already went through this. They're traveling up into better weather than where they're playing at right now. The most important thing is I love betting on teams that have one game on their belt versus a team that doesn't at the college level, and it makes a huge difference, especially when you're dealing with new coordinators and stuff like that. So, my lock of the day for the weekend for college football, I'm all over this minus the 4. The 4. We talking about the 4. We talking about the -4 for Florida Atlantic. So. That is my official play. Hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in, though, for the show. I am the coach. That's Marley Bets. And we are hitting the 1 hour and 10 mark. And I think we're going to end it today with this last game because we're going to come back and talk about the New Year's games tomorrow. Not the New Year's games, the Labor Day games. But let's go to our very last game. And we're talking about the Cincinnati Bearcats taking on another one of Marley's favorites.
No, man, hold on. Man. I gotta do Notre Dame. We got Boss on the show. That's his squad.
Oh, we got Boss.
We have to do Notre Dame.
We gotta do Notre Dame. All right, then we go.
We ain't gotta do ND. We already talked about it in the chat.
My bad. He is right. He is right about that.
Yo, boy.
You gotta do Notre Dame. And this is Marley's team. This is the team Marley really got to win the national championship. If it's not SEC.
I don't think I said
Yeah.
That's not what I said.
This is his third favorite team.
If it's not SEC, it's Bama, Georgia, Ohio State, everybody else.
It's Bama, Ohio State. And,
I ain't gonna never.
Everybody else.
I'm throwing that on a t-shirt. Bama, Georgia, Ohio State, everybody else.
Hey, man, let's get it, dog. All right, yeah, you're right. Notre Dame taking on Ohio State, and this is not a neutral game. This is at Ohio Stadium. We got the Fighting Irish taking on the Buckeyes. Like I said, Marley's third favorite team in the country for this year. It's going down. This line actually opened up in favor of Ohio State minus 13.5. And it's still there. It says 17.5. There are some 17s out there as well. And we got the total opened up at 50. Let's see what is the total open up at? I'm sorry. The total opened up at, they don't have it what it opened up at. So, but we called it at 58 yesterday, and it's jumped up since then to 59 for the full game. So let me update that real quick, and we can keep this going because we at that point, man. We can't successfully cover the rest of these for tonight. I'm sorry. Get to these actual factuals real quick. Notre Dame 7-1 against spread last 8 games, 7-1 straight up in the last 8 games as well. 9-0 straight up in the last 9 games on the road, 5-1 straight up in the last 6 games against a Big Ten conference opponent. The overs also hit 4 out of the last 5 games in the month of September. 9-2 against spread in the last 11 games on a Saturday, and 6-1 against spread in the last 7 games when playing on the road on a Saturday. Now let's get to the actual facts for Ohio State. 2-4 against spread in the last 6 games. The overs hit 13 out of the last 19 games. 10-1 straight up in the last 11 games. 6-0 straight up in the last 6 games at the crib. 7-0 straight up against an independent conference opponent. And they are 4-1 against spread last 5 games when playing on a Saturday at the crib. So injury reports right now, and I know Big Boss can probably let us know which ones are impacts or not, because we're going to let you start off, my boy. Avery Davis, running back, is out for the season. Jared Patterson, offensive line, is questionable for Notre Dame. Joe Wilkins, wide receivers, also questionable for Ohio State. Quarterback Tyler Bunkner, I probably said that wrong, is probable. Mitchell Evans, tight end, is out indefinitely, and Logan Diggs, running back, is probable for this game. As far as Ohio State, wide receiving, Cameron Babb, he is out indefinitely, and running back Evan Pryor is out for the knees. Is that the same Pryor, bro? Hold on. That ain't the running back, huh?
Pryor?
Nah, that ain't the cat from
talking about Trayvon Henderson?
Okay, yeah, that's him. I was about to say, that would have been all over the world. But anywho, those are the actual factuals right there. So, Big Boss, Ohio State taking on your Notre Dame Fighting Irish. What's the play?
What side y'all want to hear first? Y'all want to hear my sister,
We don't want anything with emotions involved in it.
No, it won't be none of that. You want my Ohio State speech, or you want my Notre Dame speech first?
I want to know who you got.
I want to know
off top. I mean, as a Notre Dame fan, when you get it's my squad plus 17.5. Now we got a quality team.
That is a lot.
I don't care what your team. If you an LSU fan on their worst year, an Alabama fan on their worst year, I don't care who your team is. If they're a solid team on their worst year, 17.5. Shit, I done bet Notre Dame against Alabama and got blown out. So I'm definitely gonna take 17.5 with Ohio State. We play in the Big Ten all the time. It's not a big deal to go over there and play them. Yes, they are the best team, but we prefer to play the best. That's been our MO the whole time. But, I like Notre Dame plus the 17.5, of course, because it's a big number. But I also like the under as well. All Marcus Freeman at the end of the day, he got respect in his defense. He gonna hope that Ohio State respect him being alumni enough not to go all through his draws. And he got his defense, but they saying he may have issues with the change because I don't know how he's gonna allow the other DC to do what he needs to do. They don't know how that's gonna mesh yet because he's such a emotional guy and hands-on type guy. But I mean, after I capped the guy a little bit, kind of went through his whole background, he's a legit dude, man. It's a reason why they got him coming out number 6. I wish we wasn't. They should have put us 26. I would have been happier with that. But coming out with number 6, hey, man, that's fine with me. I hope this guy can live up to what all they talking about, him being this great coach on his way to the NFL. He was an excellent player. But, a lot of time I'm a true believer in coaches that, get along with the players and bring that enthusiasm. I mean, look at what Deion's doing at Jackson State. It's a great thing, but does it always work? No. So, sometimes, being too nice is too nice and, there's respect levels and all that kind of stuff. So how this guy's going to fall out on the field as a coach is just to be seen. And I've been in this position as a Notre Dame fan before, going through coaches. Man, you usually don't hit right back on track on your next coach. So we thought about that about Willingham. That didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So it goes on and on, with that. So I'm a little down on it. I'm taking it just because I'm a fan, and I'm gonna take it as a fan plus the points. But I wouldn't advise nobody else to do it. But the under went all the way up to, the total went all up to 59. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. I would jump on that twice because the offense of Notre Dame, we're gonna be a run-first offense. And as far as Avery Davis and all the injuries at the running back and stuff, we ran deep at running back. And one thing that they didn't really publicize a lot, which I heard little whispers of it before Brian Kelly even left Notre Dame, is that he recruited like 5 teams deep backwards. He didn't leave them. He did leave them abruptly, but he didn't leave them like with no athletes or nothing. He took a couple with him, but he had recruits that were signed. Some of them dudes that jumped out of them deals when he left, they was from 3 years ago. They still in high school right now, jumping out of them deals. You know what I'm saying? But he kept enough recruiting behind. Tradition's gonna get us some athletes, so talent wise, it's pretty much the same at Notre Dame as last year. We played really good last year. Defense was locked down. Definitely could have needed a lot of work on offense, but we do return the offensive line. The one offensive lineman that's hurt, that could hurt us, but we got 3, 4, 5 other ones that's behind them that's ready to come in and fill in and do the job. So we should be able to run the ball, but it's going to be a thinking man game. It's going to be a running game on our side. And as far as on Ohio State side, Ryan Day, he's the same as Kirby Smart. Like, yeah, you did some good things. We appreciate it and all, but you still got a lot more to show. Like, you was handed a team that was already put together for you anyway. So you just kind of facilitating what's going on. But the fact that you took some of these losses that you did take last year to some of these teams that you lost to says a little bit about your character at the end of the day. And in order to get in the position where you could be the 3rd best team in Marley's thing, you got to be able to win this championship. God damn it. But CJ Stroud, great quarterback. Trayvon Henderson, some young talent at running back. The offensive line got a 6'8", 320 DeJuan Jones. But they do find a little lack of talent in the wide receiver thing, but I don't look much into that because young wide receivers, you can pick them up off any local corners and get them going, get them running and stuff. But me and my son's an Ohio State fan. It's going to be one of the biggest games for me. It's my wife's birthday. My son's an Ohio State fan. We having her birthday at his house in Vegas. We drawing the line in the middle of the floor, Notre Dame or Ohio State. Choose a side, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to go at it, and that's just how it is. But from the history of this whole thing with me and my son, and he's just a fan as well. He bets a little bit, but he's a fan. But he says all the time, he says Ohio State either starts off fast or starts off real slow. And last year in their first opening game, they started off kind of slow and had to pick it up in the second half. So might be a little action with Notre Dame first half as well, being that Freeman's not going to be like Kelly, try to do some wild stuff. He's going to really stick to the books. It's going to be a lot of smash mouth on offense, a lot of hardcore defense. And I don't know, this Ohio State team, they can be shook. They got some nice sized players, but they're not SEC. You know what I'm saying? They're not SEC.
They're that big boy football. They still got to get,
you know what I'm saying? So Notre Dame, we can hang with them because we not SEC either, but we can hang with them. So I like it, man. I'm gonna have fun with the game.
They are third. They third. You can pop a third.
Yep. You know what I'm saying? I didn't lost an $800 ticket betting Notre Dame. A lot of this emotional stuff. So I done did worse. I'm gonna take it easy this time. I'm gonna take them plus a little points, do a little something, have some fun with it. But that's what it is for me. But under, put me down for the under officially. Put me down for Notre Dame officially as well.
Okay. All right, Marley, what's the play? Or do you have a play?
I do have a play.
Okay, what's the play?
I do have a play. All right. Just to wrap it up since last game, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time. I pretty much agree with Big Boss. They're not the SEC. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing they are not, the SEC. They're a damn good football team. But not the SEC. I think this is way too many goddamn points to give Notre Dame team that I respect Marcus Freeman. I think defensively they'll be probably better than a lot of people think. I don't think they're Ohio State 17.5 points. And I agree with Boss, like as far as the game plan is going to be, it's going to be to slow the game down, run the ball, play good defense, not turn it over, and give us a chance to win at the end. I do think Ohio State offensively, they're going to score. So that's what it's going to boil down to. Can they, probably play a bend, don't break kind of defense, maybe keep them out the end zone as much. But we're talking about a team that averaged 45 points a game last year, almost 400 yards passing, almost 200 yards rushing, 180 yard rushing, 380 yard passing. And you bring it back to Ron Henderson with 6.8 yards of carry and 15 fucking touchdowns. Like, that's going to be hard to fucking stop. But I do like the 17.5. I just think it's way too many points. Ohio State will win this game, though. They are the third, fourth, best team in the NCAA. So they will win this game. 17, though, might be a tad much for the first week. And I just kind of think it's a little disrespectful to Marcus Freeman because I do believe these kids will run through a wall for him. And I think that does mean something in football. And you bring back Michael Mayer, the best tight end in college football right now. So if they can muster up some kind of running attack, which before I'm done, this is the last thing I'm gonna say. Big Boss touched on this. They're bringing back the damn near the entire offensive line with the exception of the right tackle. So if they can muster up a run game, probably mix some play action in, hit Mayer, play solid defense, 17 is a lot of points to me. So give me the 17 with Notre Dame.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Hey man, I got a quick thing. I got to jump out of here, man. I done already went past my limits on time. I got somebody hanging out there right now, but I appreciate y'all having me on the show, man. Catch me and Marley tomorrow on the Boss in the Sauce with my man Big Ragu. We got some other, throw some Mountain West and some stuff like that, some other little games to see where the SEC is really about. But we're gonna have some fun over there too, man. And the season's just started, man. We're gonna have all y'all come over there and do a feature for us on the Boss in the Sauce, man. But I appreciate y'all having me, man. Always down with y'all. One love, man. But I gotta go, man. I got somebody way out here.
You good.
Yeah, that was the last game anyway. You good, boss.
All right, fam.
All right. Flat Top, what you got? You got to play for this one?
I do not. No play.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, I really don't have a play for this one. Now, that first half spread is at 8.5. I would probably take that Notre Dame with that 8.5 would be a lean, but I definitely think if I was to make a play, it'd be Notre Dame plus 17.5. Ohio State struggled last season in the first two games. In fact, they dropped one of them. They should have. They struggled against who they opened up against Minnesota. Minnesota had them on the ropes.
I thought it was Oregon last year. Did Oregon beat Ohio State last year? Opened up. Oh no! That was like two. Yeah.
No, they opened up against Minnesota. Minnesota was bringing it to their ass to
The running back went down.
So I would definitely lean on Notre Dame with the points. You can never go bad with your starting offensive line. Now the issues that I'm worried about now is my issue that we got right now is whatchamacallit, the defensive coordinator. So you got a new defensive coordinator for Ohio State. It's the DC. It's the DC from Oklahoma State, and then with Marcus Freeman dealing with that, issue, like, can he give it up, or is this coach willing to listen to Marcus Freeman's philosophy? Because that's what got him at this moment and with Notre Dame, man. But I don't have a play for this one, but if I was to lean, I'd definitely take Notre Dame with them points. And we appreciate everybody tuning in. Like I said, tomorrow we will be shooting part 2, and possibly even Thursday, to cover the rest of the games. Army versus Coastal Carolina, Cincinnati, Arkansas, SMU, North Texas, Florida State versus LSU, and the Clemson Tigers versus Georgia Tech, and might have a couple of others on there as well. But that's just to do a quick little recap. Big Boss only really dropped 3 plays. His official plays was Utah -3, Notre Dame, Ohio State under 59.5, and Notre Dame -17.5. Flat Top. Excuse me, say it again. Oh yeah, I'm tripping.
17.5.
Yeah, I'm tripping.
By 18.
I got you. Flat Top, he likes UGA first half -9.5. He likes the over in the Florida-Utah game over 53.5. He likes the over 62 in the U of H versus UTSA game, and he likes Florida Atlantic -4. As far as Marley bets go, Marley likes Purdue +3.5. He likes the Utah Florida over 53.5 as well. U of H -4. FAU 2.5 for the first half and -4 for the second for the full game. As far as myself, I'm going money line for the first 2. I'm going money line Purdue, money line Florida, -4 for U of H, and -4 for Florida Atlantic as my lock of the day for the weekend. So those are our plays. Hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Like we said, we're ready to have some fun this season. He was talking about Big Boss pod.
Yeah, I posted it. I posted the link.
Oh, okay. I got you. If you're watching on the YouTube, there it is right there. But hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Flat Top, we appreciate you joining us, my G. Marley, if you can hit us with the prayer, we can get out of here as we are officially at the 1 hour and 30-minute mark.
Yeah, we over like a motherfucker. As always, people, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in. That down there, that's the homie Flat Top. And right there, that's the homie Coach. I am Marley Bets. This is Brothas N Bets. And like yesterday, like today, and like tomorrow, y'all already know what it is, man. Let's beat Vegas. We out this month.
But there's still big women on Twitter, though. Not Twitter, Tinder.